well cooked.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday show. The show's going to go on a bit of a hiatus for the next, not a hiatus, just I'm not going to have, I might have a show in the morning for Thanksgiving before I head out of town. Probably not Friday unless I can find a way to do it from my parents' house. And probably not Saturday unless the same circumstances. But Sunday I will have a show and will be well rested enough to have a stream as well. Sorry I didn't stream last night. The missus is sick and I very much wanted to make sure that she was okay. So yeah, and I ended up falling asleep. Making her comfortable. So yeah, sorry about that. It's not a big deal. It should have been on Monday anyway, so if I had done the show on Monday like I was supposed to, there wouldn't have been an issue in the first place. But today, we're going to get into the KaceyTron drama. I find that More Pegasus has the most accurate and detailed versions of the story. I've watched a bunch of stuff on these. He has the most condensed, and not going to lie, it saves me on the editing time. And then we're going to get back into the Akaash Singh drama with his wife that we got into a little bit yesterday. But here we go.
Right, and I hope people do even more investigative detective work because this man needs to be exposed. I'm sorry. I had a horse is the most common phrase among common people. Who doesn't have a horse? I've never met somebody without a horse, actually. If you just go to the local homeless shelter, everybody has a horse. Moving on to the most...
All right, so yeah, that's the Hassan drama. Hassan every week, just getting into it since I didn't apparently stop the video in the right place. Every week he's like, I was raised poor, I was raised rich, I was raised poor, and now he's saying, guys, just because I had a horse and you saw me in one of those rich people horse riding professional jumper outfits doesn't mean that I'm rich. He was rich. He was raised rich. His father, I'll say allegedly because I see conflicting things on this, but his father is a billionaire, a Turkish billionaire, and his uncle is Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks. He's never had to struggle at all in his life. Cenk may have, Hassan has not.
Pathetic Hassan orbiter KaceyTron. Now, recap, KaceyTron is being sued by Ethan for violating copyright, and here she gives an update, and she's not doing very well. She's playing ultimate victim. I wanted to give a more personal update on how the lawsuit is affecting myself and my family. Here's the statement from my live stream. Please consider donating to my GoFundMe or even signing up for a monthly donation. And she's linked her GoFundMe. And the
All right, just going to point out, doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get to the Abba and Preach video because you all know how much I talk and add to these things. Not really add, but how much I talk. And that's a horrible picture. Hilarious. But yeah, the rest of this video looks like it's going to be that, and I really do want to get into the entirety of the KaceyTron situation that's going on currently, because it's fascinating, and I love hypocrisy. Not really.
GoFundMe is now at 53K, still nowhere near the goal.
In September, I made a settlement.
Keep in mind, the settlement she's about to talk to, she already had, I believe, $40,000 to $50,000 on this. What was it? On this GoFundMe. There you go. And she only offered him $17,000. Make it make sense.
Offered to Ethan for $17,500. This offer was publicly revealed by Ethan to his Instagram followers. My mother, father, and sister all struggle with disability and housing instability. They are my family and they depend on me. Just this month, like many other low-income Americans, my mother and disabled sister had their food stamps taken away. Under the current political...
Just so y'all know, and he might bring it up in a second, this is an evil person. Anytime anyone that she disagrees with politically says anything, and not even disagrees with politically, anyone who she deems as an incel, even though her little hubby is very much an incel loser, she like Asmongold and a bunch of other people were talking about some family hardships they had, and they said that they fucking deserve them just for words, just for their words. Now, this situation is different because her words and her illegally, and I do need to cover the content nuke. I'll probably make that the Saturday show. Sorry, the Sunday show. Or if I find a way to do the show from my parents' house, I'll do it there. But the content nuke that Ethan put out as a little trap for these people, they watched it and knowingly told people in their audience and publicly advertised people should watch it on their channels so Ethan doesn't get the monies. That's the definition of copyright infringement. What? Like that's not fair use at all. At all. Because KaceyTron, if you're on the internet at all, if you're on X at all, you know, you've probably heard she smoked more than she spoke, because she took more bong hits than she said words. And yes, that's just words in general. Like, well, she spent more time smoking than she spent time talking. She did one a lot. The other one she didn't do a whole lot of. So, and this person put her own family at risk because she did something highly illegal, and she only does this. She doesn't spend a lot of time editing videos. She's a streamer. She doesn't spend a lot of time editing. And the worst part is Hassan is a multimillionaire. He could help her out at any time. He's in this mess because one of his little clingers here went to bat for him, but he won't do the same for them. And albeit she's doing it desperately trying to grasp at relevance, she still went to bat for him, and that ain't nothing. If it were me and I were a millionaire, one, I wouldn't be a gaping anus like these people. But if I were, I would at least have the decency to see that someone who's fairly prominent is getting a lot of ridicule and getting sued, and I would help them out. But he's the communist with the Gucci bag, so he will not do that.
Climate.
Continuing.
The future of funding for
told you I
other
talked too much.
assistance is uncertain. I cannot afford to fail them. I simply want this nightmare to be over so that I can go back to providing my family with my full support. Ethan Klein is suing me for $150,000,
Sorry, just
which is the
adjusting my
maximum
mic
damages
levels.
for malicious copyright infringement.
Okay.
I believe it is highly unlikely that a court would find me liable for copyright infringement at all, and certainly
these are not her own
malicious
words.
copyright infringement.
Okay, first off, she says it's highly unlikely. I mean,
is lawyer
so
speak.
what? You were not smoking 42 times while watching the video, and you were definitely actually reacting to it and transforming it? I mean, apparently it's transformative to be high out of your mind, guys. That's a new one to me. Also,
Which she
what
was.
happened to your
She was
high
very
and
much
mighty
high out of her
attitude?
mind.
Like, oh, Ethan is such an incel. He's suing a woman like me. Well, who would have thought, guys, that defense doesn't actually work in court anymore? Who would have thought? Also, let's just go over that. She tried to settle with Ethan for $17,000. I'm sorry, that was never going to be enough, considering like the damages you would have to pay if you lose the lawsuit is way more than like 10 times that, right? And why would he actually settle when you guys literally constantly lie about him and try to make his life hell? And all you had to do was literally apologize, and you couldn't even
Oh
do
my
that.
God, that is
This is
that
all
is not your
happening
best
because
angle,
of you, because you couldn't put down your massive, and I mean massive ego for even a second, all right?
KaceyTron has gone very much downhill. Hey, Shapeshifter, what's going on? We're getting into a little bit of drama today. KaceyTron used to be, I don't know, for some reason I feel like I remember seeing some stuff that she did like somewhere 5-8 years ago, and her being okay. And then, as always, when you get pulled into the Hassan Piker sphere, or just doing anything that'll get you into the frame of mind to be a Hassan Piker fan, she just kind of went downhill. It's sad, really.
And now you're just screwed, right? And nobody has a single bit of sympathy for you because you pretty much are vile people who kind of deserve everything that's going down, honestly. And it's unfortunate, obviously, what her family is going through, if she's not
true.
lying about it, by the way, because she is absolutely the type of person to lie about these situations. But if they actually...
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm fixing to go on a 3-day trip myself. I won't say where, just for, whatever, but... going across a couple of states to where I'm from, and Yeah, I'll probably do a show first thing in the morning before I head out, and then if I can find a way to do it to where I can post video and talk over it. I know there's a way to do it with my phone. I'm pretty sure I have my OBS on there, but I may do a show on the road, maybe two on Friday and Saturday morning, but
actually are on disability and no food stamps, whatever she said, that's not related to Ethan. They were on that shit before the Ethan thing. This is entirely a you problem, all right? And honestly, I feel like it's your fault because you chose to stream for 10 years and make no money when you should have been getting a job. By now, you could have paid off all your family's problems and shit like that.
That is true, and I can understand if she was an actual like YouTuber and did a lot of editing, did all the work herself and such. But she doesn't. She does basically what I do, but somehow less, and she gets more viewers than I do. She literally just pulls stuff up and shit talks and puts her 2 cents in. The only difference is hers isn't worth 2 cents. She's literally just a grifter, as most of these people are. Like Denims, what's that? Fruggen! And Hassan Piker, of course. Hassan Piker is only famous because... I mean, he's pretty. I figured out who he looks like the other day, but I forgot who it was because I'm mentally ill.
Had you gotten a job, but instead you chose to be a lol cow on the internet. And what happened to your Reddit mod boyfriend, the one you were bragging about, the husband that you married outside of Walmart, right? And you were like, our love can get us through anything. And he's just like fucking Reddit mod typing whatever. I thought he was a real man, you know, your real provider. Unlike the incels who are obviously broke and can afford nothing. But your man is just so rich, right? Have him pay for the shit. In fact, newsflash, Casey, all you did is kind of rope him into this situation as well. And so he's gonna go broke alongside you as well. And my only question in all of this is, where is Hassan? Because 150K is literally peanuts to him. He probably makes that in a couple weeks to a month. And he purposely chooses to leave you out to dry. Hilarious, dude. This is what you get for supporting Hassan. Instead, he's spending his money betting on random horses in China or something, bro. And while you're getting absolutely shit on and your house is going. This is wonderful. And this is what I mean when I say they are not friends. So then...
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if I ever made anything of this or stand-up comedy, if I became a big name to where I had millions to my name, because that's the only thing I could ever really make money off of. Unless I am working on something else. We'll see if that goes through. That might take a couple years, though. But if I did that, I would very much so make sure that a couple of people that I get along with and have good vibes with, I would build them computers or get them the new Steam machine and get them set up so that they can do right alongside me, like the H2O Delirious or the Cartoons crowd, to where they all have their own channels. They're all independently maintaining themselves, and they literally just get to hang out online for hours a day. Like that's what I would do. I would make sure that those around me and those who have helped me out are at least in a better situation than they would be if I had never made any money. If I had $10 million, I would invest one to make sure that I was taken care of for the rest of, and then move on and all that. But what's happening here is Hassan Piker is a millionaire, and these people basically latched on, like as a lot of fan boys and girls do. And these are some of the more prominent ones, even though they're not huge, but they have some following in that little circle that they have. And albeit they did it to themselves, but Hassan Piker's not doing anything. He's barely even talking about it. And these are his people. They've made videos. They've collaborated with him. They're fairly close. But
she continues and says that her offer to Ethan was actually super generous.
My offer was tied to the maximum damages for normal copyright infringement, which has a maximum damage of $30,000. Considering it is unlikely there are any damages at all that I could have caused, even if I am found liable for copyright infringement, my offer of $17,500 felt very generous. For me, that is a lot of money, and it would have come directly from my own pocket. If we
it wasn't her own pocket. It was from her what's it called? Where you raise the money, fan generated money. It's straight from that, like her GoFundMe. So it's not her own
We
pocket.
are unable to reach a settlement soon. This could stretch all the way to December of next year and cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in lawyers' fees through the end of the trial. To be clear, I don't make anywhere near this kind of money. Like most Americans, I live paycheck to paycheck. Since this lawsuit was announced, it
Get a job.
has resulted in a barrage of hate and harassment that has been incredibly mentally taxing. Every day across all of my social media, I am relentlessly reminded that my life could be ruined.
All right, we're gonna, after this, there's a little segment that he's gonna get into with Asmongold. KaceyTron makes a habit of sicking her little fan base on anyone she disagrees with. Albeit, yes, a lot of them are bigger streamers, but what happens when you poke the bear? I'm saying no one should harass anyone online. Anyone who follows Asmongold or any of these other people online, I know they don't support this kind of harassment. I know they get a little gleeful when this stuff happens because it's hard not to feel any kind of joy when someone who's done so much negative to you gets it right back at them. And it's not from anything you did. It's literally just the ripples coming back.
That myself and my family could wind up living on the streets, that Ethan
That's
is
your
going to
fault.
foreclose on my home. All
That's your
realities
fault.
that feel very real to me right now.
So let me get this straight. You chose $100K in lawyer fees over simply apologizing to Ethan genuinely, and now you're about to lose your home. First off, I don't know if I buy this because she's a known liar and she might
And
be
he did
doing this
offer
to
that.
get
He
more
offered-
donations and more
He offered an apology. He said, if you just apologize right now, early on, then it can all go away. And she doubled down. She let her own pride get between her and her family's well-being.
sympathy. This is a common tactic with
And
e-beggars
Ethan's not wrong.
such as Kate.
I'm not a big Ethan Klein fan either. I haven't really been since him and Hassan had their own little podcast where Ethan Klein went off the rails. I'm not a fan, but he's right in this. Right is right. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the left. I don't care if you're the right. I don't care if you're me. If I'm wrong, let me know.
KaceyTron here, right? And second up, if she's actually telling the truth, are you expecting us to feel sorry for you after the way you have acted for
No.
literal years, being this obnoxious, horrible person? If this happened to Asmongold, you'd literally be cackling and laughing about how your ops are broke. When his mother died, the person he cared about the most, you went and said that he killed his own mom.
Yes, I did like that tweet. It says, thankfully, XQC's lifestyle hasn't led directly to the death of one of his parents yet, so he has that going for him over Asmon at least. I'll admit, I did like that tweet, and I have a lack of respect for Asmongold after letting his mom with COPD live in those sort of conditions.
Right? You are the most vile, disgusting freak to ever exist.
I have to say, in that clip, you can kind of see how she's the living embodiment from the catfish angle photo from the dating websites. Because,
And you deserve everything that is coming to you. And once again, thank you, Casey, for admitting you are absolutely broken, pathetic, and have nothing going for you in life. This is just the fate of every Asan orbiter. One by one, every single Asan orbiter is coming to this realization that their life is absolutely over. And this is like the villain at the end of the story getting karma and getting what they deserve. Nobody feels bad for them, all right? You've been doing villainous activity all this time. Then she plays the ultimate victim, the most manipulation. She says that she's going to Minecraft jump. I'll probably cut out that portion, but she explicitly says that these haters are pushing me into jumping or whatever. And then she finally reveals the real reason why she's doing this.
All realities that feel very real to me right now, and all being used by hateful onlookers to push me into self. The thought of dealing with the constant doxing, threats to my life, and harassment for another year is extremely dark. This treatment wears on a person, and it has left me feeling extremely drained, isolated, and depressed. I've changed my GoFundMe goal to better reflect the cost of this sort of litigation.
she tripled it. by
Again,
the way.
these funds are
At least.
exclusively for my lawyer fees. This is not money that will go towards any sort of settlement or to any of my personal expenses.
Well, no, and like, I'm not saying leave Asmon alone, but like, he can handle himself 100%. Like, he hasn't even changed his living condition after he's made all this money. That's just the kind of guy he is. He's not scared of anything. He's already lost the two most important people in the world to him. I've only watched him a little bit, and I know that much. But no, these people, all the stuff that she's complaining about being done to her, and the stuff being done to her, it's just people commenting and saying what a disgusting person she is for doing the things that she's saying being done to her, them actually doing it, threatening people's life. And there's always going to be the people who have no check mark on X saying all kinds of horrible, vicious shit. Anyone who's, and I still don't understand, we've had the internet as the way it is right now for 10 to 15 years, right? The internet itself and all the disgustingness there has been around for 25 to 30 years. To where there's been any kind of social chat rooms or whatever from back in the day. How do we not know, especially when it comes to these types, that mute buttons exist, that blocks and bans exist, and that trolls exist, and they will say and do the most horrific shit ever. A lot of them are bots. But a lot of them are just mentally deranged, and they can literally do nothing because their fat asses are cemented into their computer chairs or couches, some of them.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to be, like, criticized for, like, coming on camera and, like,
She goes on and criticizes people all the time.
crying and shit because it's not something that I want to do. Like, I've been put in this position where this is what I have to do to survive. And, like, I'm doing this
There's no tears. She's literally doing that overprivileged, upper-class white girl stutter speak shit when they want to cry, but don't know how because they've never known sadness.
knowing that it's going to result in, like, the whole fucking hate brigade, you know, like Asmongold, XQC, all of them are going to go live and make a video and make fun of me and laugh about how, you know, I'm going to lose everything.
No one is laughing because your family's in jeopardy. No one is laughing because, well, I mean, they are because you're going to lose everything, but not because for the fact that you're losing everything, but for the fact that you've done it to yourself because of your own pride and lunacy and delusion. But you don't see that, do you, KaceyTron? No. All you see are those big-ass teeth.
All this other messed up shit, and they're going to further profit off of my pain.
Casey, you literally said Asmon killed his own mom.
Yeah.
How are you playing victim here? Like, you're just receiving karma. This is like you robbing a store, and when the police come to arrest you, you go, actually, my family's on disability and I'm on food stamps or whatever. That's irrelevant. Then you shouldn't have robbed the store, you fucking moron. Also, can I just say how disgustingly manipulative this is? When you get backlash on the internet, you threaten to just neck yourself. That is the most disgusting manipulation. It's kind of
really
like
is.
what toxic people do in
I meant to pull up the
relationships
Meg
or whatever.
Griffin
And now we know what this is all about, right? It's all about donating to her GoFundMe, right? Give me more money for free or I'm literally gonna neck myself. And now everybody, or all of her like remaining fans or these Twitter people who want to support these causes or whatever, go like, oh my god, I don't want her to die. Let me like support her. It's so manipulative. It's so disgusting. And she's not even close to the goal, by the way. Like she's gonna even doing this entire stunt, she barely got any donations. Also, not gonna lie, I don't really believe her when she says that it's only going to the lawsuit. I feel like a portion is definitely going to her weed, okay? I feel like I can smell her through the screen right now. Anyways, it wouldn't be a Casey video without the word incel.
All of these incel types, like the Asmongold fans, the XQC fans, like saying that I deserve...
No, I was looking up the, oh my god, dear, let me tell you. Believe me, KaceyTron, I know what it takes to be cool. But no, I was looking for the little clip where Meg threatens to knife herself because Brian rejects her in one of those like season 4 or 5 episodes.
And then whenever you ask them why, they're basically just like, because she said incel.
No, it's
like,
because you're a horrible
the
person.
manosphere, a lot of the men in this space really hate me because
These guys aren't in the manosphere. You're thinking fresh and fit. What's that? Sneeko, Tate's, and that ugly chick that looks like Hugh Grant left some semen somewhere. Just Pearly Things.
because ever since I've had a platform, I've spoken out against their misogynistic, hateful behavior, you know?
Misandrist.
Yes, of course, 0 women in the world hate KaceyTron. I mean, Casey, I hate to break it to you, but this isn't exclusive to men. I feel like everybody just hates you.
Yeah.
In fact, I received the...
And I can't stand this when certain people from certain groups... Look, yes, racism and all the isms exist, but you cannot use those as a shield for you to have free reign to be a shitty person. That's not cool. It's just not.
call this morning from the aliens who are watching the Legendary series. Even they hate you, okay? Even they told me they hate KaceyTron. And she desperately wants to believe that she's this champion of women fighting for all the marginalized communities or whatever. Casey, women don't like you. Nobody likes you, all right? The only person in the world that likes you is your Reddit mod boyfriend. Jesus Christ. And even he probably has worms controlling his brain. By the way, I just gotta say, what self-respecting man goes for KaceyTron, bruh? Ay, ay, ay. That is pathetic.
Does he look like he's self-respecting? That is a level of pathetic
beyond anything, okay? You cannot be calling people incels and then settling for KaceyTron, bro. Ay, ay, ay. I feel like I know what's going on here. The essential femcel KaceyTron here is desperately projecting on other people, spamming the word to cover for her own inadequacies, right? Because she's only able to pull Reddit and Discord mods exclusively, and it's a tragic existence. Anyway, so Asmon responded,
I simply want this nightmare to be over so that I can go back to providing my family with my full support. Ethan?
Don't ever believe any of this bullshit. She is the nastiest fucking person ever. She's so nasty, so obnoxious. She has no problem bringing up my dead mother, weaponizing her audience against people, spreading lies against people. Nah, you get what you fucking deserve. You do.
For malicious copyright infringement.
Well, how is it not malicious whenever you said you were doing it to deprive him of revenue? Like, I mean, this is the problem, is that people like this are so allergic to accountability that they literally cannot even engage with anything in any sort of authentic way. You're not even listening to what he said. You're not even trying. Like, you could have just come out and apologized and said, you know what? I was wrong. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done this. And you've gone out and said all this other negative stuff about Ethan. You brought up his kids. You've brought up other people's kids.
I forgot about that. Really, I mean, yeah, like one of either her or Denim's fans doxed Ethan Klein and called CPS on him for nothing. They made up a bunch of shit and tried to have their kids taken. And she was laughing hysterically when this happened. Her, Denim's, Frogan, all of them. Hassan Piker said that Ethan Klein's wife, who is Israeli-born, but she's very much a Free Palestine type, said that she's a valid military target because she used to work for the Israeli military, even though she was just a paper pusher.
I mean, this is the thing, is a person like this has no boundaries. You have no boundaries for what you are willing to or not willing to, you know, bring up in terms of like weaponizing against a person. So now, like, I mean, you had every opportunity to walk it back, to step back, and you didn't do any of those. No. And maybe now you might pretend to do one because your back's against the wall. But I don't know if Ethan's going to let this happen or not. I mean, in my opinion, I bet he's probably going to go through with the trial and get the full $150,000.
Hopefully.
And also, it's not going to be $150,000. If the judge awards him with anything, that's going to mean that he won the case. And if he wins the case, you have to pay for not only all of your legal fees, but you have to pay for his as well. You're going to be fucked for the rest of your life if you lose this.
And it's completely her fault. This is why you don't defraud someone with that much money if you aren't in the right. Or at all, rather, because defrauding is illegal. Phrasing. I apologize. I've been up since 2:30. Also, I can't help but notice, like, just from certain angles,
and it's all because,
doesn't it look like Asmongold puts more time and effort into his goatee and his beard here than he does everything behind him? Like, if he put this much care into all this would be the fanciest place ever. Like, Trump would want to go through and just slather it all in gold.
Because of your ego. It's because of your ego. It's because you could never admit you were wrong. You could never engage with anybody in good faith. And now your entire family is suffering because of your ego, your fucking hubris, your
If that's even true.
inability to accept anything that you're doing is wrong. And you've ruined your life. And everybody's watching.
Indeed, they are watching from the legendary series, The Absolute Cinema, alright? The villains always lose. And people say I clickbait. I mean, come on, buddy, it's a future prediction. Life ruined? Was I wrong? Was I wrong? Exactly! Simple as that. She's absolutely cooked, alright? And it couldn't happen to a more deserving person. Casey is the epitome of everything the internet hates. You know, a complete moron, a disingenuous liar, a fake activist, and an evil person from her very core. There's not a single time I've ever thought, oh, Casey's doing this in good faith. Oh, Casey actually cares about this issue. Every single thing she does is in bad faith. It's to serve her own needs, and she's simply getting karma, and nobody should feel bad. So Asmund continues just cooking her.
Of hate and harassment that has been incredibly mentally taxing.
What a piece of shit. Do you really think that, like,
I love how, like, for anyone who watches Asmund at all, if you've ever seen any of the clips with where his dad calls in, since his dad passed, Asmund's been heavily, like, channeling his dad.
regularly completely lie about people all of the time? Do you really think that they never get harassed by you? You regularly harass and lie about people constantly.
Yeah.
But now that it's happening to you, you're the victim. Oh, you're being harassed because of the lawsuit. You're doing this all the time.
Every day across all of my social media, I am relentlessly reminded that my life could be ruined.
It already is.
Yeah.
You've already ruined your life.
And you've tried to ruin
and this
other
is what I think
people's
is funny
lives.
is that people
is
like this,
karma.
these are people that are finally realizing that their little group of weird, mentally ill followers are not the law. You were getting gassed up by Reddits, by snark subs, and all these other weird, mentally ill, middle-aged women on social media that, no, you're right, girl, you're right, girl. And you know what? They all convinced you to carry your cross, and now Ethan's nailing you up to it.
With a big hammer.
You never had to do this. You did this to yourself. And you're not a victim. Well, actually, you are. You're a victim of your own stupidity.
Oh my god, okay, that goes hard.
It really
Victim
does.
to your own stupidity. God damn, it's so true, right? And all they had to do to avoid this was to watch the legendary series and simply take my advice, which was to apologize.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched a lot of the legendary series just because I don't find Hassan's orbiters overly fascinating, but I did find this one particularly interesting just because I love hypocrisy. What can I say? I love seeing it. I love seeing what it looks like. I hate that it happens, but my God, it's satisfying when hypocrites get their just desserts.
To Ethan sincerely, and then he would be forced to drop it. You know, people would probably pressure him if he kept going, and he would be seen as the bad guy. But no, you made it easy for him to play the villain, and everybody support him because you're just insufferable. So then Asmund calls her a hypocrite, and then goes over all the times that she's talked about him, and most of these are just lies.
No, now you're being sued, and you could be out on the fucking streets. Because if any of the accusations that you leverage against other people were found to be true, and people all believed what you were saying about them, those other people probably be out on the streets too.
Yeah.
I love this. I'm so happy to see this. Because this is, in my opinion, a bad actor, awful person that is having their life totally fucking ruined for being a piece of shit. Being a piece of shit for no reason. You never had to act like this. Yep, the consequences.
I love the way some Southerners say shit.
Yeah, the self-righteousness, the sanctimonious behavior, the nasty lying, the reputation destruction, and now you're going to lose your house over it. Okay, yeah, here we go. Oh, I had the space. Okay, so this is the person who's complaining about me harassing her.
Wow. Okay, so this is all the times.
These are the amount of times that she's tweeted about me and talked about me.
Yeah, so he basically searched himself on her X page. That's a lot.
Man,
Wow, we're only in 2023.
How about that? You guys thought it was over. No, it just didn't load yet. There was too many of them. I wonder how long it's going to go. I do. I wonder how long it's going to go for. Let's find out.
Look at that.
2023. There's no way it can go that much longer, right? So you've been getting mad about me for 6 years. And you've been a victim.
Yeah, I feel like you don't really get to cry after all of that, right? Now, if that was remotely deserved criticism, then you'd have an argument, but most of the time it's obviously just bullshit. And yeah, I feel like nobody's gonna have any sympathy for you now.
It's mostly
because
just
you
her
were dishing out all
calling
of the
him an
shit,
incel,
and now you
laughing
basically
at him
can't
and his
handle
fan
it
base
because it's being
for
dished out
anything
back to
sad that
you.
happened
And
to
yeah, I
them,
don't
like
want to be
his parents
cheesy or
died.
anything, but I really feel like karma does exist, and these situations prove it. If you do evil shit all the time, you're gonna have evil shit happen back to you eventually. That's just the way karma works, and it is genuinely satisfying. Her, mock someone's dead mom. Also her, think about my sick mother. Watch as I read from the script and fake cry. He killed his mother due to his actions and also
didn't even
helped me
cry. She just
help
did
my
that
mother who I
stutter
put at
speak.
risk due to my actions. Truly, utterly pathetic demon. I'm sorry, Ethan, I shouldn't have done that. It was too difficult for her. Imagine your entire family suffering because you have that big of an ego. You can apologize, bro. My god, my entire family is disabled. Keeping the tradition strong, that's crazy. Her weed budget can support a family of 12. That's crazy, bro. Settlement offer is hilarious because she had 40k in her GoFundMe and offered a 17.5k. Ethan blasted her asking if she smoked the rest of the money. Alright. The thing is, how can you even argue giving a lower amount than what you raised in your GoFundMe?
And I'm not even anti-weed. But yeah, she offered, I think it was definitely less than half. I want to say it was a third of what was in her GoFundMe at the time.
And like, that's crazy. You were trying too hard to be greedy. Right, so then XQC responds as well.
Disability and housing instability. They are my family and they depend on me.
Yo, I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to be cruel to this person, but double down. When I was getting sued with no information, she just doubled down and tripled down, saying the most outrageous lies about me, being a weirdo about it. I don't care. Now you're getting sued. We do not care. We don't give a single shit. I don't care what you guys say about this. Fuck you. My viewer base only knows you because you tweet the most outrageous dog shit coming out of left field for no reason, and you tweeted some outrageous things you knew were not true at the time. I didn't even engage with her community or her ever before she was doing this shit.
And I've only ever seen XQC a few times, but for the most part, he's always pretty chill. But he's coming not unglued, but he's just a little bit, just a few of the seams.
Here, there, people didn't even know she existed until she did this shit, and then she didn't blame my friends for being what incels. What a cop out, bro. What a zero IQ cop out, zero responsibility, zero acknowledgement, zero accountability. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Like most Americans, I live paycheck to paycheck. Since this lawsuit was announced, it has resulted
Okay, dude.
in a barrage of
These incel men, guys, don't lump the fucking creator guys, whatever, with the incels that you farmed for years. It is not the same thing. You don't get to do that. When is she gonna understand this?
Yeah, I mean, she's literally insulting her own audience. Like,
Yeah, like, and you see this a lot with,
every time one of these wannabe e-girls or OnlyFans girls does
Okay,
this
he's saying
shit,
it.
like, oh, it's the incels. That's your fan base. That is literally the people who are paying you on a daily basis, all right? And I feel like you need
And that is true. There are a lot of female content creators and streamers and the like who make money off their personality, their knowledge, and their know-how. They very much so exist. And the one I can think of off the top of my head, and yes, she is a bit of a baby doll, and she has used it a little bit recently, I want to say, but Sweet Anita, she uses her disability to her advantage. And it's genius. She's a decently attractive person with Tourette's. And it's a great watch. I can't watch it all the time because, I mean, I just can't watch it all the time. But there are a lot of really good content creators out there that are female. Shuan Head is one that's very, very talented. She has great perspectives. She's just someone who lives as a based person. Like, she is a former Bernie bro leftist who I think she married a conservative, but she still holds her opinions, and they seem to very much love each other. And I was hoping that her and Skeptic would work out, but I guess COVID, the lockdowns and all that, and them living a few miles away, but in different countries. It took its toll, I guess. But no, there are very good female content creators and streamers out there. But you have to admit, and I'm finally getting to my point, I know, that a lot of them out there merely make money because they'll have their titties out, as we saw on KaceyTron earlier. God, Twitch is just a haven for hot tub streams and all that shit. It's really like Twitch loves promoting two things: titties and Hassan Piker. And it's really hard. I still get, sorry, I should say difficult in this context. It's really difficult. I still, even though I've said many times I'm not interested in Hassan Piker's content, he always gets recommended to me. I get texts and emails saying, hey, have you tried watching Hassan Piker? And it's usually after he's recently done something that would get any other content creator canceled. And Hassan Piker's an example of a guy who has really stupid takes. He's a moron. Literally anytime anyone insults him or says anything even remotely offensive about him to him, he tells them to suck his dick. That's literally his go-to every single time. Like, I really want to play a montage of just Hassan Piker saying, suck my dick and perish. I bet for every time he's ever said it, it's got to be like at least half an hour long.
To have a little more compassion for your boyfriend, who's gonna be very offended at this. Like, oh my god, that's really rude, Casey. Come on. Also, I just love how she has beef with basically everyone here, right? Apparently, she was jumping on XQC's court case as well when his ex was being batshit crazy. She was obviously supporting her because woman, right? Without,
like, you know, on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Dennis's ex-wife started becoming a cat. She looks like a pudgy bunny, mixed with that dipshit that used to be on Ethan Klein's. I think they had a podcast together, him and some dumb blonde.
Knowing any of the story or anything at all, making XQC's life a living hell as well. Like, you dish it out and you can't take it. It's pathetic. Now click this video or you go.
All right. So just a couple of tweets here. The Krasensteins are always a gold mine of dipshittery. Why doesn't Trump just say, I agree with Democrats, do not follow illegal orders? MAGA, I'll wait for your response. Look, I'm not MAGA. But here's my response. You have a lot of people saying that every order that Trump gives is illegal, when it's not. It's pushing the boundaries. It's pushing the legal limit, but it's still legal. It's within the confines of the law. And everything that he's done or tried to do that isn't legal has been deemed illegal, and he's backed off. That's just a fact. But the fact that the Democrats are saying that everything that he does is illegal, and then saying to soldiers, especially National Guard soldiers who are more susceptible because where they deploy is within their own state a lot of the time, usually to help out with natural disasters, but also for situations like protecting government buildings, as Trump's used them for. They're telling them to defy legal orders, and they're not saying it in the same breath, but they're saying the same people are saying both. They're saying that everything that Trump does is illegal and that you should defy illegal orders. This is how they operate. And the right is guilty of this too, but not nearly as much and not nearly as recently, or not as much recently. But people like Krasenstein, they don't care. They just see the half, and whether they're complicit or they're just too stupid to see it, they're propagating this whole thing. The Krasensteins are a genital wart on the cock of American politics. Okay? These guys are the worst grifters ever. Evan Loves to Wharf is another one. So PragerU Defiant L posted PragerU saying, calling yourself a university does not make you a university. And then PragerU saying, now do gender, because people are doing this whole sarcastic thing. I don't agree with an organization like PragerU doing it that way, but they're allowed to do what they want. Defiant L says never gets old, and then Evan Loves to Wharf says university are not social constructs. They literally are. They are literally a social construct. Colleges would not exist without them being made part of the social norm. You can't make this shit up. And then something awesome that he posted. He's Metatron trying to get himself blocked. That's a horrible story. This is what got me interested in this story. Sorry. You can tell I scroll. And then this is that bullshit from yesterday. It still disgusts me. But the Krasensteins are fucking dipshits. Like, this is what fascist governments do. Don't follow illegal orders. Department of War. Let's see what it is. The Department of War recently received information regarding potential unlawful comments made by... Okay, I'm not 100% sure what the actual comment was, but I'm pretty sure this is referring to someone who was in that ad. See, and this is another thing. That's a stupid argument. One, I don't think that's booze. And secondly, you don't think this guy parties? Like, come on. And you don't think this person parties? Mark Kelly did nothing wrong. Look, look, you can dress anyone up as anything, okay? It doesn't mean they're that thing. Yes, this person has all kinds of medals. Do you know what kind of things people who are officers or high-ranking NCOs get medals for? Showing up to shit. You literally have to see no combat and you get a Bronze Star or this or that for fucking nothing. Some people get them for things. Some people get them for just their rank being at a place. I can say that I was military. But the fact that a lot of these fuckers, like this guy, posting this, the military of it even 10 years ago wouldn't have allowed this. You would have been given an Article 15, and they would consider throwing you out of the fucking military. You are not allowed to have this kind of thought. Oh, he's a vet. Okay, whatever. Okay, so he's out, so he can do that. Sorry, I didn't read the vet part. But I've seen people posting who are still in the service, freely posting, talking shit about the president, about Pete Hegseth. Look, I'm completely for that. But when you're in the military, you do not have that right. You just don't. That's the only thing. Look, when you're in the military, you're stuck. You're in a contract. You cannot get out. Unless you break the law or break the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which is that. And they're not just going to let you out. The only time they do that is for like DUIs, and you still get arrested and all that. And then they literally just set you out on the fucking doorstep of the base and wish you the best of luck to get home. Is that right? I mean, it's a horrible thing that they did, but that's also after they've berated you, and embarrassed you publicly. I've seen a lot of stuff, and yes, it is deserved, the embarrassment. But if someone's from around there, fine. Leave them outside. People can pick them up. But if they're from anywhere else in the country, you're literally just guaranteeing that there's more homeless vets outside of your base. Sorry, it's my little military rant. But this kind of shit, it's ridiculous. And I'm not even patriotic. I'm just stating facts. Okay, that's a fight. Anyway, but that's all today, guys. I know it's just like I said, I haven't covered the Hassan Piker and his orbiter situation in a long time, but it's getting... I still haven't watched that one even, but it's getting interesting. I'll do a show tomorrow morning. I'm not going to promise I'm going to stream on Twitch tonight, just in case, but I am going to go. You guys have a very safe and happy Thanksgiving, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it. I don't care about the history of it. It's a time of getting together with friends and family and being grateful for what you do have. I don't care if you're religious. I don't care if you're an atheist. I don't care who you are. Be with the people that you love over the next few days. I will be here tomorrow morning, more than likely, to post a special show before I head out. But just know the holidays are a tough time. As someone who's struggled with all kinds of depression throughout my entire life, it's tough, especially if you don't see yourself highly, you don't think anyone could possibly love you. Just know there's always the next morning. There's always going to be a better day. Okay? I promise you, the same thing that you do to see the worst side in everything, you can harness that and use it to see the best side of everything, even the best side of yourself. Even if you're a horrible person, it's never too late for redemption. It's never too late to make things better. But you have to try. Okay, so over the course of the holidays, take time out for yourself, but take time out with family and friends and loved ones. You have to find something to make life worth living. And you're not going to do that if you're always sitting in the house with the shades drawn. I mean, I do that all the time too, but I also get out there and try to find my people. Who knows? Maybe some of y'all are my people, but just be good to yourself. You have to be good to yourself first and foremost, and then try to be good to others. I'm not saying be a dick to others until you learn to love yourself, but do things for yourself. And then once you're in a good place, then try to do things for other people, even just small things. But that's my take on the holidays. You guys take care of yourselves. Be safe. Hopefully we'll see you tonight or tomorrow. And hopefully I find a way to stream while I'm gone, because I'm going to have a lot of free time while I'm there. But I'm only going to be gone like a day and a half, 2 days. So I will definitely see you all Sunday, but I will more than likely see you every morning until then. So y'all have a great day.